Hey everyone, we are on to Unit 2 for our notes. So let's set up our page for some Cornell notes. So we draw a line down the side, kind of following that red line again. And we go 2 lines across the top. And then we got our little section over here where we put our names. So you would put your name, I'll put Mr. Will. And then the date, 9/16/21. Okay, so we got the date. The title for this one, we're going to talk about the Earth's interior. All right, the Earth's interior. All right, so then I'm gonna do this quick. Perfect. Okay, so now I need my essential question. It's the EQ, and our essential question for today is: how do we study the Earth's layers? How do we study the Earth's layers? All right, question mark. Well, I think in order to do that, we need some evidence. Well, what is evidence? So let's talk about evidence. First, let's write what evidence is. Evidence. So underline that. It's a support for a claim. So if I say something, usually I need something to back that up to say, oh, this is true. So evidence is going to help me with that. There's two different kinds of evidence, though. So there's direct evidence. So I'm going to write that too. Direct evidence. And that's something like I can physically show you. For example, this may be a rock sample. So I could tell you or show you, this is my evidence for this claim. And then we have an indirect evidence. And that could be maybe seismic waves. We'll use that as our example. Because we can't really see seismic waves, but we can detect them with a lot of really fancy equipment. And obviously we can't see through rocks or into the earth, but this allows us to, in a way, see what that is. So these are two different ways that we have evidence to support maybe how we view the Earth's layers or what we think they are made out of. So let's talk about what the Earth is made out of, but we're going to break it up into parts. So let's leave some space at the bottom because we're going to draw a picture, but let's do this stuff up here. So our first part is the crust. That's what we're on. It's that solid part that the land and the water is all sitting on top of. Or I guess the land is what it's made out of. But still, like with trees and grass, that's all on top of that. So let's put rock that forms the outermost layer. Okay. And I want to put that this is solid rock. So it's that outside layer, and it's made out of solid rock. So then the next layer underneath the crust, we're going to call this the mantle. So the mantle is our layer of hot rock. As we get lower and lower, deeper into that center of the earth, it's starting to get much, much hotter. But this is still solid rock. This mantle area. It is starting to get more malleable and movable, but it's still technically solid rock. Until we get into our next layer. And our next layer is called the core. But there are two parts to the core. So we're going to do first our outer core. And this is our layer of molten rock. Or metal, sorry. Molten metal. And this one is a liquid. So that's kind of what this mantle and crust are sitting on top of and it's just shifting around on. And then we have our inner layer, our inner core. And this is definitely solid. It's very dense. It's a dense ball of solid metal. And a lot of scientists think that this is one of the ways that we have a magnetic field. So a dense ball of solid metal. Now we're going to draw our picture. So the nice circle, yes. So on the outside, I'm going to put, hold on, how many lanes do I need? Let's just put crust up here. And then skip a line, we're going to do mantle. And then outer core. And then inner core. We're going to draw lines to them and stuff. So, my crust. I'm going to make a super skinny line all the way around. It's going to take some skill. I'm sure you guys can do it. Super skinny. It's very, very thin. So I'm going to put that this is the crust. It's the outside layer. Okay, and then we have the mantle. It's a little thicker. If I had some color pencils, I could totally use that to change the color up and maybe even underline. Like this is this color, you know? Okay. And then we do one more circle. Because this will divide up to that. Perfect. So I have my outer core here, my inner core here. So let's underline those. And that is going to be our notes for today. I think we should definitely color the different layers, different things to make them kind of pop out more. But otherwise, this is kind of a real good start of the interior of the Earth. We're going to get into more of what that means and how that helps us. All right, see you guys later.